So the next thing I've got to do is make a hole, and the hole's going to be right in the center here. I've already kind of taken a little bit of material away, and then I think I'm going to use a pivot drill and drill straight through the center, but I'm going to make sure I got a good center hole here, so I'm going to work on that for a second. I got to move the lathe around here and turn the camera off probably. So now I'm progressing the setting by using a pivot drill to drill a hole through the setting very carefully. And I think I've gone deep enough here, so I can probably stop drilling because I've gone all the way through. So I've drilled the hole now, so I'm going to cut this away at the right length here, and then I'm going to flip it around and see if I can put a jeweling collet in to clean up the back. As I cut this away, I'm going to leave a little bit of extra material, and that way I can shave it back a bit to the right size later on. This is my set of jeweling chucks, and I'm going to find the right chuck that fits that particular setting, and then put that setting into the chuck and prepare for the next phase. Okay, this is a shot of the setting in the jewel holding collet in the number 40 collet that I'll end up installing in the lathe here. So I put my finger on the top like so, and I put the lathe in place, and usually you got to turn this around till you find a groove like that, and then you can tighten it up like so. So I'm just turning it until I get a bit of a grip on it, and then I'll tighten it a bit and then see if that part stays in, and yes it does. So I don't want it too tight because I want it squishing the part. And then what I have to do now is I have to shave off the face of this jewel setting, which will expose the hole that I drilled from the other side already. So I'm going to shave that off right now. Okay, right now I'm shaving the face of this setting down to the step that I made. And I need to be very careful I don't take too much material off, because I still have to widen the hole. It's pretty touchy work. It's very precise, and you got to make sure your gravers are very sharp when you're doing this. So I'm going to take some material off of this. I'm going to make sure that the graver is at the right level. And then I'll just shave this off. And I'll get back after it's flattened. Okay, this is the jewel hole. So the jewel's now, I took the material off the face. So this hole needs to be enlarged a little bit bigger than the back end of this hole. And I'll enlarge that just enough to get the jewel in, and then I have to cut in so they can burnish the jewel in place. So that's what it looks like right now. Okay, this is the setting with the jewel sitting in it, and it's absolutely flush. So I'm going to try this out because the cap jewel will be sitting on top of this, and I'm hoping it's a perfect fit. If it isn't, then I have to burnish in the jewel, which means I got to cut in and I got to dig it a little bit deeper. So the hardest part here seems to be the actual gravers I have to fit in there and do the fine work of getting inside and squaring out the shoulder of this jewel. Anyway, I'm going to try and see if this works. There's a quick video of the counter shaft. In the background I've got the jewel in place here with the setting, and I just decided to do this shot because it looks kind of cool. Alrighty then, here's the second new setting I made. First new setting had, I would say, had some issues. There's the second new setting, and that's the end where the balance staff goes through, and then there's a little lip that I cut, and the other side is cut out to allow the jewel to sit in there. So I'm going to see if this actually fits in the plate. Here's the plate here, and I've got to install this into the center there of the plate. So see if this works, and if it does, amen. Okay, there's the jewel setting sitting in the plate, so I have to put the jewel in and then the cap on top. Alrighty then, this is the final video. I made the lower balance jewel for this watch, as you saw on my Boley lathe. I also made the balance staff for this watch on my Boley lathe, and I did a few adjustments, like cleaned up the arbor for the mainspring, and I annealed the spring on the end so it would hook on the inside of the barrel. But the big thing here is I was able to make that jewel setting for this watch, and then it works like a charm. This has got about a 360 degree swing on the balance, which is pretty darn good, and it doesn't have any wobble or anything, so it's excellent. So let's just hope this little baby lasts a long time, and thanks for watching my video.